Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to this very special press conference of the Alliance for Change. I speak for myself and the entire AFC family when I say this is indeed a very special moment for us, and we are happy that you're here to share this moment with us. We have at our head table our presidential candidate, Mr. Cameron Rambutan, party leader, quote unquote, Mr. Raphael Trotman, NEC member, Cathy Hughes, and our General Secretary, Mr. Sixus Edwards. We also have the entire NEC.
Not the entire, some of them gone because they got to go against it.
Okay. Most of the NEC members here with us, and we're very fortunate for that also. So without further ado, I hand you over now to Mr. Rambutan.
Thank you very much. We are here gathered to announce, indeed, the finalization of the process and also the result of that process. As you are aware, after our good Sheila Holder fell ill, she decided to ask for a replacement as the Prime Ministerial candidate. We had indicated to the press some days ago that we are going to have the National Executive make the decision and as close as possible to meet the requirements of our Constitution. We have done that today, as we had promised, and of course, immediately after we said we're going to hold this press conference. I happily announce to the press that Raphael Trotman is the Prime Ministerial candidate for the Alliance for Change for this coming 2011 election. The process was very deliberate. The process had profound analyses in that very 2.5 hours that we sat here. And indeed, the press release on the issue will be read by Raphael. Raphael, please.
Thank you. Thank you, my presidential candidate, Cameron, my friend and brother, as always. I think if I could be allowed, I would just say a few words, and I think we'll share the release with you later. I'd like to first thank and acknowledge God's divine providence over my life, because I never expected I would be here today as Prime Ministerial candidate, and I do believe that God has ordered my steps, and I wish that He would continue to do so. I'd like to thank Cameron Rambutan for allowing me to be his running mate.
Yeah.
And the members of the executive who all repose their confidence in me to be Prime Ministerial candidate for the Alliance of Change at this very critical juncture in our campaign, and as we face perhaps the most important election Ghana will ever face. Thirdly, I'd like to acknowledge the sterling efforts and the courage of Sheila Holder, who without her we would not be where we are today, in the sense that she's brought the campaign to a point where I feel it is my duty to take up from where she's unable to carry us forward. As you know, she is not enjoying the best of health, but we ask that the nation continues to keep her in prayers. We will pray for her as she gains strength, and we pray that she will be healed and will be ready to return to not only serve the AFC but Guyana when we win. We have much work to be done. I am committed to the entire process, as I've always been. I now have some more time, and I've made things possible so that I can take up this appointment. We are going to be on the campaign trail in a very visible way in all parts of the country, and even perhaps abroad, because there will be appointments out in the diaspora. And we'd like to thank you all for all your support, all your words of encouragement, and even the words of criticism which keep us sharpened and focused from time to time. Thank you very much. I'm inviting Mrs. Hughes to say something. Let me just say that it is, again, a privilege to share this head table with the General Secretary, Mrs. Catherine Hughes, myself, of course, being here with Mr. Rambutan and Amar. Cathy, as you know, is considered a worthy replacement. I believe that the party has great depth and scope in being able to choose candidates from the top to the regional council. So, Cathy, I believe, as a woman, but more so as a person in her own right, is quite entitled to be either presidential candidate or prime ministerial candidate. She will say perhaps a few words on her decisions, but I thank Kathy for her support and for her presence and involvement in the process this morning, which made it so rich and meaningful. So much so that we came out of it much stronger and united than I think we've been ever before. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael. It was an exciting process, and I was really very happy and proud to be nominated and to be considered. You haven't received your press statement yet, but I will say to you that during the course of our deliberations and through the process we went through this morning, I did decide to withdraw my nomination, and I decided that my contributions would be best served putting them behind the very, very capable Camarade and Raphael, who I've worked very closely with over the last 6 to 7 years since this organization started. I'm very, very excited that we have a considerate and competent team that is very, very committed to really bringing real change in the way we do politics in Guyana. And this is not an easy task. It's the road that you take that you probably get beaten up the most. But it's a road that the Alliance for Change has been very, very committed to and has decided to travel. We want to give you a vision of a new Guyana. We want to go further on what we have achieved here. So I'm excited that we have our team together. I want to take this opportunity to say that having Sheila withdraw has been a tremendous blow for us, but she herself has asked us all to rally, as we have many occasions before as a team, and to move forward, and that we're very, very happy to do. So I am very excited to be part of a new campaign team. You will be seeing more of me out at the rallies and at various occasions. And I thank you and everybody in Guyana that has expressed support for myself and of course for the AFC. Thank you.
Well, what I can say basically that our process was very transparent. I liked how it went, and there is not much more we could have done. I must congratulate Raphael for his candidacy, and we'll move on from there, strength to strength, to ensure that we win the next election.
Mr. Trotman, what has changed? I know you just said you're afraid of the target from the last time you declined the position.
Well, time has changed. Time has moved on. Last October I was in a place where I had some medical concerns of my own. I have since had doctors here and abroad examine me, and I would, again, perhaps miraculously, I have been given a good and clean bill of health. But the time away allowed me to do some introspection, to reevaluate myself, my purpose of being in politics, and just really go after what it is, identify and go after what it is I want to do in politics, how it is I can better serve people. And so I think I'm in a better position now than I was last year, and with that in mind, I've seen it as well as my duty, with Sheila having done so much. We couldn't allow it to just go, but I believe I am in a better place now.
Were there any conditions attached to the PM?
Well, of course, we do have some concerns in terms of particular areas of interest for me, where my strengths would be. These are things that we will have to work out and work on. But we are in the process of unveiling this. But it has to do, firstly, with settling the decision. No two candidates are the same. And I being, of course, the leader of the party, having some experience in some communities as against others, I think the party will try to place me where it will get the best, optimal results.
Larry Kaicho News. Could you say, in addition to Kathy, was there any other candidates that was looking at?
No, no one else is proposed.
Who's the leader of the list?
We need to work that out. But the team, Mr. Ramsden and I, we will work that out.
Are you guys concerned that this team happens to be now the presidential candidate to male, the prime ministerial candidate to male? The female electorate out there might have been looking for a strong female and might have been looking in the direction of maybe a misuse in others. How do you think that is going to impact the voters out there now who might have been looking for a female?
Let's ask a female to
You know, we have worked as a team always. And that's why I said in my statement that it is not as if because I'm not the prime ministerial candidate that I'm not there. Everybody knows I've been an executive member of the AFC. I've been a founding member from day one, and I will continue to be there. As some of you know, I have had other business commitments, work commitments, and certainly I'm putting things in place so that I will be able to assist more. But it's not as if I was never there. I've always been there, and it's just a case where in terms of our positions, we're going to be changing them a bit, and I will be stepping forward a little more. I've always been at Sheila Holder's side. So the woman in the party is still there, and I'm very happy and very proud. You will see a couple other of the NEC female members. Some of them have already left, but we have a team of women, and you will be seeing more of us in the future.
Is incorporating persons from outside the party one of the considerations for parties?
We are a political party. We've always said we're open to attracting good, patriotic citizens, and we don't demand that they take up membership of the party. And so we're not going to fill our list with just party people, knowing that there are other citizens out there who can make a national contribution. Once their ideology aligns with ours and they're prepared to be patriotic, to put aside corruption, racism, and embrace the reconciliation that we and the values that other values that we speak to, we will be prepared to consider them and to hear their proposals. I can say that there are a number of such proposals on the table right now which we are considering.
If I could just add to that, I think that's one of the strengths of the Alliance for Change, that we really have not been able, just because of protecting the individuals, we have not been able to bring forward to the guidance public yet. But we certainly have a dynamic team of well-qualified people all across the diaspora that are willing and ready to step into a range of positions along with people right here in Guyana. So any misconceptions people have about whether the Alliance for Change has the capacity to lead Guyana into a new time and a new dimension, let me reassure you that, when the time is appropriate, you will see the level of people that we are bringing on board.
Wonderful. I just want to say one thing in response to Mark's question. Mrs. Sheila Holder has been the bulwark of the AFC, and we expect her to continue to play that role, to be the backbone, and to provide representation, not just on women's issues, but on issues with regard to the poor, with regard to all issues. We expect her to continue to play that very important role.
Well, let me just say that Mrs. Holder is receiving medical attention. She's not in hospital or in bedridden or anything like that. Her doctors, I believe, will say to what extent we are authorized to reveal more. But that's a personal matter for her. But suffice to say that she is vibrant. She and I had an email exchange last evening. I know that she'll be representing the party late in the month in the US at a very important meeting with one of the IFIs. So she's receiving attention. Pardon? I wouldn't wish to
that's a private matter, please.
Herself ask us to do that.
Could we switch gears a little? Could you tell us a little about your finances and how you raise them in terms of campaign?
Our finances are largely contributions from members and supporters. As far as we are aware, nothing is illegitimate from them. They are all very legitimate businessmen in Guyana and outside of Guyana. Our diaspora, especially the New York, New Jersey chapter, helps very substantially, and we are, as the campaign has been moving on, getting more and more support from our members in Guyana and people who have means and are of substance helping us here in Guyana. I will not name them.
Beverly.
AFC said that they're working around a budget of $6 million US. Could the AFC tell us what they're working with?
We not as I don't know where AFC is coming from, but each party has its own methods and methodologies and ways of doing things. We're not about to disclose publicly what is our budget, except to say that we're in the race to win it. We're going to fight with every dime, every cent, every dime that comes in the US, and every cent or dollar that we get from Guyana. And a lot of our money is coming from small contributions from the man and woman in the street, at the marketplace, and elsewhere. But you know, I don't know what AFC's figures are, what they're based on. We can only say that we are doing well, and we intend to do better in the days and weeks ahead.
Mr. Trotman, do you feel that initially you said that you're not up for this because of personal reasons, health reasons, maybe God spoke to you, and now you're telling the electorate that God spoke to you again? I'm interpreting it that way. How do you think they're going to buy into this?
Well, what I'm saying is that on the last occasion I had some health issues, but I used the time to go through, do some introspection, to take myself through a process. I said today that I never expected to be seated here, and so I recognize God's hand in my being here, because it was not by design. None of us expected Jesus Holder to fall here. I believe in a God. I will not take that into my politics, but it is for people to decide whether they want to see the hand of God in Trotman or the AFC or not. But it's a matter of my personal belief, and I think that I'm not ashamed and will never be ashamed to acknowledge God's hand in such.
Any other question? Right. Like I said, this is a very special mode for us, and we'd like to thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.